Good afternoon and welcome to the Broadstone Homes Podcast. My name is Tristan Canada. Today I'm joined by the owner of Broadstones, Mr. Dave Piron. And our guest today is California closet designer, Maria. What's the last name again?
Dubono.
Dubono. Sorry. Maria, thank you for joining us here today. Before I get into any other questions I have written down for you, can you tell us how long you've been in the business, how you got, just give us a little bit about your background.
I've been with California Closets for 4.5 years, and I have a varied background. So I was in sales for a while, business sales, and flipped a lot of homes and different things like that, and design's been a passion of mine. And I had a friend that worked for California Closets and thought that it might be a good fit for me with my skill set.
Did you ever do any like interior design type stuff or anything like that beforehand?
Just with the flipping of the homes and our own.
Yeah.
Just a passion and fun, but not formally.
Yeah.
How did you get in contact with Dave, and how long have you been working with him?
Dave, have we been working together for like 3 years?
Yeah, I'd say probably about 3 years. We did a nice big custom house together one time. Probably it was a couple years ago. I think you did maybe 3 closets or something like that out of that house.
No, I think we did. Like
maybe more than that. Yeah, you did a lot there. Actually,
we did the whole house.
Yeah. There was a lot of things that you did there,
and some cool spaces.
Yeah, for sure.
But we've done some simpler projects too.
Yeah. Yep. We did one in Waterford that I believe was kind of like simple type stuff that turned out super nice. Real nice high-end home. They were like definitely wanted to stay in like a price range, and you were able to get them exactly what they were looking for.
That one surprised me how much we were able to get them for where we needed to be.
Yeah. It was a really nice house.
Now, I'd be remiss not to bring this up. Recently, Dave got some. You went through California Closet, right?
Well, of course. Yeah, of course.
Did you work with him on that project?
A little bit.
Yeah,
yes.
She definitely worked with my wife probably a little bit more. But,
that was my favorite project that we did.
Yeah.
I got to, you got to actually see everything that we can do.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's get into some of these questions. Does California Closet only work in closets, or do they design other rooms as well?
I always say that they should change their name to California Home. No, we do other spaces in the home. We do any type of built-in other than kitchens and bathrooms. So, and they're expanding more and more into that, where that's becoming more of a focus. Mm-hmm. We do Murphy beds, pantries, built-ins, offices, wine bars, and they can be simple or as elaborate as you want them to be.
Why do you, you said you guys don't do kitchens or bathrooms?
Yes.
Are you guys moving into that in the future?
I don't see us moving into that, but we're moving more into like ergonomical home offices, a little bit more high-end in terms of the other spaces in the home, in terms of, like our capabilities.
Mm-hmm. I know when I walked into your guys' showroom, when we were doing our closet, right as you walk in, they have this like home entertainment center set up that was like eye-opening to me. It was like the same thing. Like, man, I didn't know that you guys did this kind of stuff. And they had like a TV set up with shelves and some cabinets below and some pull-outs and stuff like that, where you're like, oh man, I could see that being, super nice to have something like that.
Yeah, that's really a cool system. That's called Paxton, and it's our upper end. It's a very European, streamlined look. Has integrated hardware and no exposed system holes or anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's all inset. Has glass shelving that are illuminated, metal rimmed.
Yeah, super high end. It looks, as soon as you go in, that's one of it just catches your eye for sure.
Where's your guys' office at?
So our newest showroom and our production facility is in Wixom.
Nice.
And we moved there about.
Check that out.
Yeah.
They've been there for about 1.5 years. They doubled the production facility when we moved there from Commerce.
Mm.
Nice.
I think you went to Commerce.
I've been to Commerce too, but yeah, that the one in Wixom was the one that I was at recently. So super nice.
How long on average would you say it typically takes you to design a closet?
In terms of the process of designing?
Yeah, from start to finish.
So it really depends on the scope of the job. Something simpler we can do pretty quickly. We're designing in CAD, so we can make changes relatively fast. Something more elaborate, like the larger home that we did, that takes a little bit more time in terms of like just getting the details exactly how the client wants. So we can typically move as quickly as you need us to move. That process can go pretty quickly. And then, in terms of like installation time frame, like right now we're about 8 weeks out from start to finish.
I feel like for design for you is a lot like building a house for me, right? A lot of it depends on the person that walks through the door, right?
Absolutely.
Like you have these people, I get people, they know exactly what they want. They almost have a spreadsheet of everything that they want, you know what I mean? So it ends up making that process go relatively quickly, you know what I mean? But then you have certain other people that maybe they might know what they want, they just don't know how to explain that to you sometimes, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes I think it's them understanding the options.
Yeah.
And then integrating that with their functional needs as well.
Right.
Especially like in a closet space.
Yeah, for sure.
So to do it right, it can take a minute.
Yeah, for sure.
What would you say are the must-haves for an efficient closet system?
I think the must-haves are really understanding more of how the client wants to use the space and what their needs are. So understanding their inventory and who's using the space and, making sure that they can, reach it properly. And making sure that the height of their clothing fits into their space. So things like that, that's what really makes a closet great. So I can design from, we designed to 4 different levels, and the level 1 being the most simple, which you've seen a lot of. There's still, it still gives you a great space. It's just a matter of making everything that you have work within it.
Mm-hmm. Which I think that's something that you guys do a really good job of no matter what level you're doing, the function is always the same.
Absolutely.
Right? You know what I mean? Like you always make sure that everything's going to work, everything's got good spacing, and all the things that are important to do whatever you're trying to accomplish out of that room.
Yeah, exactly. So I always start with function, and then I add aesthetics and preferences based on budget.
Yeah.
Now, I'd imagine people's what they want from beginning, like if I were to approach you about a closet, I would imagine my mind would change a lot. Do you see that often, people changing their minds? Or
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they come in and they say, well, we have to have this, or I didn't think that, I thought I needed that, but I don't. So I definitely think it helps to come in and actually touch the material and see it. And then determine what that is. But that's really the beauty of having the showrooms is, you can come in and get exactly what you want.
Yeah. What materials are you guys using for your closet systems? Like, what are they made out of and stuff like that?
So they're high-density composite board. They're commercial grade, 3/4 of an inch thick. Our laminates, too, they're thicker laminates, so they have a lot of grooving in it, very natural feel. And then we also have 1.1/8" material as well. So a little bit beefier of a look, especially for, areas that are not in a closet.
Now, I'd imagine the prices probably vary on the material.
A little bit. So from, we have 6 colors that are the same entry-level cost. And then typically speaking, anything more than that is 10 to 15% more.
How many colors do you guys have total?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe 12?
12?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
of the core materials.
Yeah.
And then we have like different acrylics and different finishes that are great for door and drawer fronts. So lots of different options there, and then a lot of different countertop options that vary from those 12 colors as well.
I know I should probably know this from doing my own closet, but do you guys do hard top surfaces for tops?
So we work with Cutting Edge.
Oh, okay.
And so we just offer you the service where we have the color selection there, and we coordinate it all for you, but it's not a revenue source. You pay them directly, and it's just just try to make it an easy
finish it. Right.
Yeah, and just to make it a seamless experience. And
Now, I should have asked this earlier when I was talking about your business, Dave. This is a question for you. If you were to say needed Maria's services, are you calling her at the beginning or towards the end of like a job?
Well, how it usually works with us is it depends on the client that I have usually, right? There's some clients that are come in and it's kind of like what she was describing on entry level to fully custom, right? Like if I have a customer that is really just trying to get almost entry level and price is very important and we're trying to, downsize as much as we can to make things work for them. California Closets is probably not something that they're looking for at that point. You know what I mean? Right. But I do have custom jobs, and usually what I do is give Maria the prints on those, and she'll come up with drawings and stuff like that, and then I present them to the customers that I have that I think that might go in that direction of doing custom closets and stuff like that. And then those drawings usually, get them excited, and then they want to talk more, and then that's how we kind of do the handoff on my end.
All right.
It always is helpful to, to get that up front so that if they're doing electrical in the closets, then we know where to put it and don't have to backtrack.
Yeah.
Would you say when someone approaches you and they maybe want a California closet, would you say you normally have them come to the showroom so they can experience material, touch the material, and stuff like that?
Absolutely. I love to get blueprints ahead of time and then meet the client actually in the showroom so we get a really good feel for what they want, and then we have a lot of conversation. Yeah. And then some more conversation, and then we build according to that.
Nice. Can you design closets at any price point, and how much can a client expect to spend?
Good question. So we always try to get a good understanding of where a client wants to be price point wise. Clients are always surprised that we can be very price competitive, which I love because we can give you a great product at an affordable cost. Now, we can give you something higher end too, but even, like our level 1 systems are going to be, it's the same material, same quality, same technology. So I love that about California Closets. When you say where can we expect to be, it all depends on the project. We start at about $250 a lineal foot and then go up from there. So, and that can vary for a lot of different reasons.
I think there's a lot of people that you guys just have this thing where everyone thinks you're super expensive, right?
We definitely have a stigma, especially in Livingston County.
Yeah. So that you always have to kind of explain to people that it all depends on what you're trying to accomplish here, right? And that is one of the biggest hurdles that I always have when we go and start talking about custom closets. You know what I mean? Is that stigma that you guys have. And I always refer to that house that we did in Waterford and how you were able to come basically under budget from where they were anticipating being. You know what I mean?
Right. And so. I love seeing, I'm shopped, by with competitors all the time, and I love seeing those quotes because, when we're designing apples to apples, we always come in less. And that always blows my mind because our quality is so much higher. There's so much in terms of in the details of what we do that you can't see in CAD. And that's why I always feel like it's important for you to come in and actually see those details.
Now, you said the word CAD a few times. What does that mean?
CAD, it's a program. It's like an AutoCAD, but this is called Closet CAD. Yeah. It's a proprietary program that we build everything in. So the measurements are meticulous. It's all custom, parts. Everything's manufactured for your specific job in Wixom.
Nice. I feel like that's one of the big things that sets you guys apart too. Is that process of it, where you'll sit down with some other people. They kind of tell you what they want or what. You'll explain what you want, and they kind of draw it a little bit, like on a blueprint. You don't really get a feel for it. I mean, the program she's describing, you can see 3-dimensionally. You can, as you're almost like you're walking into the room and what you would see as you turn around. I think it's super beneficial for someone that's really involved in what they want in their closet. You know what I mean?
It helps them to visualize, what they want, and you can change materials quickly, so we can show them a lot of options quickly. And then too, in terms, pricing populates as we go, so you're seeing the pricing, and what the changes you're making and how it affects it. So we can always, revert back to, something different if that's not what you're looking for.
Yeah, it definitely streamlines everything in that process, right? So you can see it immediately. You can see the price immediately. It really helps you keep it going. And,
Exactly.
Instead of going back and forth, well, let me get the pricing on this, let me switch that, and then, not even knowing what it even really looks like, you know what I mean? It's quite a setup for that.
That could be a nightmare.
Yeah, for sure. And there's still a lot of companies that kind of do it that way, though.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That draw it?
Yeah, they kind of draw it and sit it down, and then they get like kind of the same material you guys are using, you know what I mean? Similar. And it's like, you just never really know what you got until it's there. You know what I mean?
That is true. Yeah. I think, too, it's like the measurements aren't quite as meticulous and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of infield cutting and shaping there versus when you guys come, it's ready to go. It's putting it together.
Yeah, it's pre-cut, it's bar-coded, and they're putting it together like a puzzle.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Maria, I want to thank you for joining us here today. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a second to kind of let people know where they can reach you if they need your services. Is there social media, a number, a website, anything that just promote your business for the next 30 seconds?
Yes, I can be reached phone number 248-635-7222, and I do have Instagram and Facebook. Maria D. Perry is my handle, Instagram, and email is mperry@calclosets.com.
Awesome. Again, thank you so much for joining us here today. Guys, I want you guys to go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Broadstone Homes, and I want to thank you guys for joining us. Have a great day.